Hi, happy Spooktober. We're still halfway through the month, and I am going to tell a spooky story to celebrate. Wow! Aside from this year, because of the Rona, I've been a camp counselor for a number of years now, and it is a fantastic time. I love it very, very much. At my campground, there is an urban legend going around. Maybe you've heard of it, the Dogman of Michigan. Well, see, the Dogman is legend to be around Manistee, Michigan, and my camp is around Manistee, Michigan. And so, of course, once a year, this legend is the bane of my existence. One year, one of my campers happened to hear the story of the Dogman from one of the other counselors, and of course, she brought it to my entire cabin's attention, and then the entire cabin was terrified of Dogman. Once my entire cabin's attention was fully peaked onto the Dogman, there was no escaping it. That was all that there was. It was either we're gonna get killed by the Dogman, or me saying, the Dogman's not real, please stop. The same counselor that one of my students heard talking about the Dogman originally, later my students heard him talking about it again. This time he was talking about how at camp there was evidence of the Dogman. My camper ran up to me and she said, "The other counselor said that there's scratches on the tabernacle from the Dogman." I told her that there was no way there's scratches on the tabernacle, and that Dogman did not exist, but the entire cabin insisted that after lunch we go and we check the tabernacle for scratches. At this time in my life, I was not one to believe such things, but when I tell you that when we went to the tabernacle, there was scratches on the tabernacle. There were scratches on the tabernacle. And not just like normal scratches, like scratches that were 7 feet tall in the air, deep gashes, like a freaking wolf scratched the tabernacle. It was low-key horrifying, and by low-key, I mean high-key, and I could not think of a single response to tell my campers at that point to convince them that the Dogman wasn't real. To make matters worse, when we got back to our cabin that night, one of my campers asked if she could go on her phone for a few seconds, and so I said yes, because I'm not a dictator, and she went and she looked up the legend of Dogman on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever heard that. I'll link it in the description. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Later that week, it just so happened to be a full moon. A harvest full moon. A full harvest moon is beautiful. However, it was terrifying. My camper said to go to the bathroom, and on our way back, I looked into the woods and I saw something. I don't know what I saw, but I saw something, and not much longer later, a child came running out of the little path in the woods, saying that they had seen glowing red eyes in the forest. Now, I'm no cryptozoologist. I don't think that things actually have glowing red eyes like that, but still, the fact that I had seen something in the woods and then a few minutes later a child said that, this entire experience was horrifying, that's all I can say. Now recently I've been becoming less and less of a skeptic, and the other day on TikTok, I saw a TikTok about the Dogman. This might not come to a surprise to you, but it was horrifying. So now, here I am, a 20-year-old woman, believing that the Dogman of Michigan is real. What am I supposed to tell my campers? Hi, it's a new day. By a new day, I mean that last clip was like 4 days ago. I changed the angle back to this. Because lighting! Wow! Good transition time though, because I was about to shift my story into another Spooktober story. I should get my skeleton earrings. That's not how earrings work. I have to take these out first. I feel so smart. Hello. Hello. Ow. Perfect. Unrelated to Dogman, but in the vein of call bipedal cryptids that are very hairy. Possibly Bigfoot killed my great-grandfather's dogs. When I was little, the story always made me sad. I mean, because the dogs died, that made me sad. But I also was sad because I always told myself that Bigfoot was nice, so why would he kill my great-grandpa's dogs? Not that this is relevant at all, but I forgot to mention, I used to be a huge Bigfoot stan. Like, it was Bigfoot or bust, man. Bigfoot or bust. Why, you may ask, do I say it was Bigfoot and not a million other things? Well, it sounded like Bigfoot, although my great-grandpa called it Whistling Jack. My dad said that my great-grandpa, he had like this call, he was like, wah! You know, and that was his call for the Whistling Jack. And then later, not great-grandpa, but later my dad was watching like a Catching Bigfoot thing, and you know, like they have all over the place. And then the guy was like, wah! And my dad's like, oh my gosh, that's the Whistling Jack sound. So that's reason one why I say it was Bigfoot, not a million other things. Second off, it smelled bad, like a swamp ape, like Bigfoot. Also, it was really big and apparently pretty powerful. So, like, yeah, Bigfoot killed my great-grandpa's dogs. Let's get into story time. I don't know how to make it black and white, or I would do that, but it's like, wait, can I dim the lights? And this makes the coloration, like, really saturated. Hi! It was a dark and stormy night. Well, actually, all I actually know was that it was at nighttime. And my great-grandpa, well, I guess technically my great-great-grandpa and my great-great-grandma went on a date, and they left my great-grandpa home alone, but it was fine because he had like a bajillion and a half dogs outside the trailer to protect him, and they lived in the middle of the woods, so like, you know, dogs will protect a child in a trailer in the middle of the woods, logically. That was all before my grandpa heard the dogs going insane outside. He was like, oh shoot, bro, something's going down. So he went and, you know, he like hid or whatever, and the dogs were just rah, 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 rah. And my dad and my grandpa, he could smell it, and he was like, ah shoot, it's the Whistling Jack. And then all of a sudden, all these poor dogs started yipping, and then they were all silent. Like, they just straight up got murdered. Just so sad. I'm laughing, but it's to deal with, it's to cope, okay? It's so sad. The dogs died. And then my great-great-grandpa and my great-great-grandma came home from their date, and all the dogs were not just lying across the yard dead. No! They had been shoved like a game of Tetris under the deck. Who does that? Like, what are you doing, Bigfoot? Okay, but alright. In Bigfoot's defense, I could argue that he was trying to give them a proper burial. Like, maybe the dog spooked him, right? So he was like, oh, I gotta kill these dogs so they don't kill me. And then he was like, oh my gosh, I just killed all these dogs. I didn't want to do that. I feel really bad because they were kind of cute. And maybe then he just shoved them under a deck, you know? But, like, that's the story of how I would say most likely Bigfoot killed my great-grandpa's dogs. That's the end of the Spooktober stories. Thank you for watching. I don't even remember half of what I did like 3 days ago when I filmed the first part of this video. But I hope you enjoyed. It was fun being dramatic. Because I'm dramatic. Because I'm a theater kid. It's kind of what we do. So, if you liked this video, pretend that you're Kirby and you do a down B. Smash that like button. Why am I always around pink cubes? It's not even intentional. Some backstory, if you don't know Super Smash Bros. Kirby, when he does his down B move, which is like a combo thing, he like falls out of the sky. It's a pink cube sometimes. Other times he's other things, but like the pink cube is the one that keeps manifesting around me, apparently. So if you like this video, like your Kirby doing a Super Smash Bros. Move, and smash that like button and the subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And make sure to tune in next time for whatever I talk about. Maybe I'll do more Spooktober. I could.